And I think what we're in right now is we're in a mode of assaying where we are and what we can accomplish. And we may have to join hands and do that all together. I'm spending a little time on that. I'm making a lot of conversations almost every day. So
We'll leave that ball in your court, Jim, and talk with them. And if there's any change, get back to us.
yeah, and Jeff, thanks for volunteering.
Sure.
Any other discussion on this item? If not, we'll go ahead and move on. The agenda, what's next on the agenda? I'm sorry, I could not print one out.
Bass fishing tournament.
Okay, and this will be the first vote and the only vote is the way I understand it. Does everybody understand it the same way as I do or not?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Okay. Here's the dates of the tournaments. Everybody's looked through them. We've discussed it more than once as a group. Any more discussion before we go right to the vote?
There was one thing, I believe the Lake Committee did have a meeting, and I think they added a kids tournament. I don't have in front of me the date.
July 25th.
July 25th.
Yep.
Okay.
And I don't know if it matters, but one of the days is on Labor Day weekend. I don't know if that's a problem or not, because I don't bass fish. So
Is that
September 6th. That's
Yeah.
Saturday.
September 6th.
7-1? This is the way it was presented to us. I guess I didn't realize that was a Labor Day weekend date, actually. Is that a Sunday?
Let's say Saturday.
Saturday.
Wait a minute. Sunday.
That's what I thought, Sunday, but what do you guys think?
Sunday morning, we're all going to be at church. It won't bother us.
That's true.
We'll go out to eat and be home by 1, so
I don't think it would be a problem.
everybody have the same idea on that?
Yeah, we don't close the lake, do we?
No.
Okay.
Won't see a problem.
They've already lost quite a few tournaments already, so.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, any more discussion before we have a vote?
The only thing that I would want to bring up is, I believe Ken Roselle indicated last time that possibly the fishing tournaments would give some amount of monies back for fish stocking. Do you have anything on that, Steve?
Yeah. Let me find it in here. I think it's $5 per boat for the fish stocking.
So that has been agreed upon and will be active?
Yeah, I'm trying to do this in the dark. Yeah, the bass tournament will also contribute $10 to the Lake Committee. During the recent House meeting, it was recommended that they also contribute $5 per boat that will earmark for the POA board fish stocking. It was estimated that the contribution would be about $600 for stocking. And it looks like we voted on that, and I guess we passed that.
That's great.
The Lake Committee voted and passed that. Is that correct, Steve?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, that was our understanding, I believe, correct, everyone? That would happen, that's something new?
Yes, that would be something new, the $5 per boat. I think what had been done in the past is $10 to the Lake Committee per tournament.
Yeah, and none to us for fish stocking.
Right, and the fish stocking's something brand new that
Yeah.
was negotiated. All righty. With that, are we ready for the first and only vote on the dates for the bass tournaments?
I make a motion that we accept the schedule presented to us for the bass tournament.
Second,
I'll second that.
whoops.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? So moved, unanimous. Thank you, everyone. Steve,
Yeah,
can you make sure that Kent's aware that this was acted on this evening and passed, please?
will do.
You are the committee chair, liaison for Lake Committee, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I thought you were. And keep up the good job with that.
Okey doke.
Okay, what's next on the agenda?
New chair for A&E committee.
Okay, I
Uh,
don't,
Rick,
I
I'm,
lost my video here. I don't know why.
well, we can see you.
Well, I know, and you can hear me talk, but I can't see anyone.
Well, some would argue it's been an improvement.
It probably is.
Let me keep things moving. I've been given Paul Forbes as proxy in his absence. And at Paul's specific request, he asked the board to vote in Joe Mineta as A&E chair.
I second that.
Okay, Jimmy made the motion, and who seconded it? Tom?
Tom?
Okay, thank you, Tom. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? So moved, that's taken care of. Jim, can you relay that to Paul? He's the liaison, isn't he, for A&E?
Yeah, we'll probably talk tonight.
Okay, yeah, if you could pass that on, I'd appreciate it. So everybody will be notified on everything. What's next on the agenda? I don't know anything else.
Adjournment.
I think that's the end of it.
That's what I
Hey,
thought.
Rick. Hey, Rick,
Yes,
I got a couple things right quick. Actually, I was asked about this morning on a fire run. I've been asked a couple of times whether the POA would consider rescinding late fees for 3 months. My thought is, because of the COVID thing, that's why people are asking. Not that we don't charge the late fees. If you pay within that 3 months, late fees, but if you don't wait till, if we say we set the date August 1st, if you wait till then to pay your POA dues, you have to go back and also make up the 3 months that were rescinded. Encourage people to get their payment in at least by whatever date we said 3 months would be August 1st. That was something that was asked of me to ask the board to consider. And the other thing, I know that you want to talk about that first.
let's go ahead and get that taken care of. I thought as a board, we took care of that once already, didn't we? Or am I confused? I know I've had 4 discussions on this already. I don't remember where it was left at.
Yeah, my understanding, this is Tom, my understanding is that Ken Roselle and the office are handling this. So without his input, I would suggest we wait until we hear how they're handling it before we make a decision.
I agree.
I agree with that. That's fine.
All right, we'll do that. Go ahead, Jeff. You had one other?
Yeah, the other thing, everybody think about that, the 14th of June, which is a Sunday, that's one of the phases of the Get Back on Track Indiana, where the over 65 restrictions are greatly reduced. And we also allowed groups of 250 people. I would propose to consider, and we can talk about this at our board meeting on it's going to be the 8th, to have a town hall, maybe like we do with the marina meetings, maybe on 20th, to discuss in person, so people can actually be there and discuss what their thoughts and feelings are. I know there's quite a few people who have made comments. They don't know what's going on, partly because they don't pay attention, or partly because they don't do internet, Facebook, those kind of things.
June the 14th on what kind of items, Jeff, are you talking about? Or
Well, June the 14th is the date that the state
That's no.
to the next phase.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, what items do you see being covered on the 14th for the people that's missed it, I guess?
The marina questionnaires, just marina discussion. For folks that haven't had a chance to do input, a lot of it because they can't, a lot of people don't do that. They do the face-to-face, they'll do the meetings, but they're not or don't know how to do the Zoom or the even email.
Okay, all right.
I guess the only thing I would consider is, I think we should run this by the office, by Ken Rozell, to see what kind of impact, that would have on him and his staff in terms of providing the CDC type guidelines for that meeting.
Also,
Yeah.
June the 14th is a Sunday.
Yeah, June the 14th is just the day that the next track, I saw.
That releases, yes.
He
Yeah,
just said
June.
after that is what he
Yeah,
said.
June the 20th.
June
We
the
got a
20th
meeting.
would be a Saturday after that.
Right, we've got a board meeting on the 8th, on Monday the 8th, so we could discuss that. And then the 14th, everything's lifted, and we'd actually, if on the 8th, we could actually let everybody know if on the 20th, or excuse me, if on the 14th, everything is still going fine COVID-wise, then we could do a town hall type meeting on the 20th.
I think,
Again, I think we rely on Ken Rozell and his staff to identify if they're able to meet the CDC guidelines for that occasion.
Yeah, the other thing is, think about this, any day in Saturday in June, what kind of attendance you gonna get at a town hall meeting? So you might wanna consider a
Especially one-
weeknight at night. So
okay,
Especially once everything is lifted, everybody's going to be out on the water,
there you go.
visiting people.
But we
what
did
I-
have pretty good attendance at our marina meetings last year in the summer.
Okay, what I'd like to do, we have an operations meeting before our next monthly meeting.
Yes.
We can discuss that then after we've had time to talk to Ken and his staff to see what if number one, they can get everything ready to meet the meeting for that number. Because we're gonna have to do that for the 8th meeting anyway. That decision is in pencil right now to have our next board meeting on the 8th at the clubhouse, open to the public unless something changes. But at the operations meeting, we'll firm that up and also discuss having the town hall meeting. Does that fit everybody's agenda okay?
Yes.
Works for me.
That sounds good.
Okay, all right. And does everybody have the date of the ops meeting? Because Labor Day weekend, we moved it ahead 1 week. Is everybody aware of that?
You mean Memorial Day weekend?
What did I say? Labor
Yeah.
Day? I meant Memorial Day. I'm sorry.
We're gonna take a look here.
That'd be the 18th. 18th,
Yes,
Yeah, be the 18th.
so next week.
yes. That's why I wanted to throw that out.
The 18th?
Is it that? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking at June.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna have an ops 7 days from now.
I think it's in the
I don't have any
guidelines as
problem.
well for the.
You're right. Yeah,
I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Is that gonna be a Zoom?
Yeah,
I would anticipate it's going to be a Zoom.
it has to be a Zoom in my mind. And I'd ask Rick Miller if he can set up the Zoom meeting for 7 o'clock on the 18th.
Sure, no problem for me.
Great.
Set it up at what time?
7 o'clock. It's 1 week from today.
Yep, got that.
I wonder if I could ask a question regarding the Zoom meeting.
Sure.
Is it possible, Rick, that if we would want to do an executive session, that you could disconnect yourself and the meeting video can still continue?
That's to Rick Miller question.
I really don't think so, Tom, but you could probably have Grant host the meeting instead of me? Grant, you have Zoom, right? Do you have a license to allow it to go over 40 minutes?
I don't, but I'm sure I can get one fairly easily.
So when are you talking about doing that? Because I have a license to do that.
I mean, just in case we would want to do that. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to find out if that would be available.
Yeah,
And
I've got a license through Heartland.
so.
Well, anyone could host this. I mean, I'm just doing it out of a courtesy. So
No,
anyone with a
we
license to go over
we
40
know
minutes can
anybody,
host it.
we
But
know,
I
Rick,
think I can, Tom, do what you're asking.
we know anybody could host it, Rick. It's just a question, as long as we could keep Jim from talking less than 40, more than 40, then it would be okay. You know, so,
Well, I can go a long time. I got the license.
Good
so-
luck with that.
well, that's just something in the future. Maybe the next meeting, Jim could host it and just,
No.
we could do a trial.
With full disclosure, I would have to admit that there's a guy I pay that sets up all the meetings. So he would have to teach me to do it from here at the house, and I want to do that. So
Tim, I'll come over to your
I
house
think-
for free. And you
I
can
think Jim, he could give you an ABC lesson.
I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's-
Oh, it's not hard at all.
Now, an option B would be to have Rick make a pinky promise and then cut down his volume.
Yeah, but we
But,
have
but
to.
you know, with his military experience, he learned how to be a great lip reader. We probably need to be careful.
Okay, how are we gonna leave this with Rick? I've asked him to do the next ops meeting next week.
Jim, do you want to try it for next week?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so.
Rick, I don't know whether I'll talk to you or, I mean, we could do this on the phone, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll call Phil at the office tomorrow morning and we'll see if I can have him slap me around.
Okay.
Okay.
I do want to thank Rick Miller for hosting all these meetings because all of them
Thank
went
you.
over 40 minutes except this one tonight. But Rick, thanks so much for helping us out and volunteering to do this. It's been a big help. to all
Yeah,
of us.
thank you so much.
Glad to
Really
do it,
appreciate
guys. No problem. Thanks for having me in.
With that, anybody have anything else they want to discuss before we close the meeting?
Nope.
Ju-
Motion
just-
to adjourn.
Before we do that, this is Tom. Did we get an update on the marina progress?
I can tell you what I know. I know that we are really close. The thing is, there's gonna be some technology challenges for a short period of time. Steve, have you heard anything about fuel yet?
Not yet. We haven't heard exactly when we're gonna be in there. I tried to pull up the stuff that was Paul had sent out, but I can't pull it up, so I don't know what the schedule is for
I
that.
saw the schedule and pretty much this week, it's gonna be basically walkthroughs and inspections. So,
They're all over it. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Well, I can give you some financial stuff that we haven't talked about. Did I tell you about community members generously offering to underwrite any grand opening? I don't know if I told you that.
Nope.
I was not aware.
Well, one of our community members has volunteered to do that. And also, our community has donated an additional 3,000, let me find the number, wait a minute. An additional $3,611.35 in donations towards retirement of the marina debt. It's great. I mean, and it's just great. And anybody who's listening, if you feel compelled, the quicker we retire that debt, the quicker we can change the fees that are being charged excess to the other members. Another just a quick thing, we have paid year to date. Let me get you the number here. I'm stalling. We paid Brant 770,000, about 771.3 is what we paid them. And it appears that we are going to be right on, which I'd actually included about 8% in there for slop. And it looks like we're going to be right on budget, which is going to be great. And it's just going to accelerate the time that we're going to be able to repay. And also one last thing, there's been some confusion, especially with a recent communication from someone in our community that said that we borrowed 400,000 or 300 and some odd thousand. It's just not true. We borrowed 260,000, and that is about half of what we expected to borrow.
There's all kinds of numbers going around. I don't know where they're getting them from. So
They're just
Not yet.
inventing them.
Yeah. And when we do,
I
Go
think,
ahead.
I can't believe we're gonna come in on budget. That's unheard of for $1 million building, but it's,
We're gonna come in under budget.
well,
I don't want to say that, Tom, but I think you're,
I would love to say under, but I don't think we're there yet.
I'll say it for you, Rick, under.
Okay, I like your attitude, Tom. Great.
all right, you guys, it's good all to talk to you. Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
All in favor?
uh,
Guys, thanks for the meeting. Been a good meeting. Hopefully next time, next meeting, monthly meeting, we'll attend in person.
Hope so.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
okay, no.
Rick, stay with me if you could. I don't mean Huddleston, I'm talking about Miller.
I'm getting off. Bye.
Okay, Rick, is all there is to it, is I contact Zoom, I get a slot with a number and a password if I want one, and then I just send the email out? Yeah.
Actually, excuse me, if you have a license already, you should already have all that. If you start Zoom without joining a meeting like this one, it should come up with your meeting ID and passwords and everything that you have available. And